Good afternoon. Welcome to the Audit Committee meeting of the Peel District School Board. I'm Jasper Gill, Chief Operating Officer and Associate Director of Operations and Equity of Access. As per the Education Act, I'm acting as the designate of the Director of Education and will preside over the meeting until there is a chair and vice chair elected. I now call this meeting to order. We will now have the land acknowledgement.
The land upon which we work, live, and sustain ourselves is the ancestral and treaty lands of the Michizagig Anishinaabe, also known today as the Mississaugas of the Credit, the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land. We also recognize the rich pre-contact history and relationships which include the Anishinaabe and the Ongwe Hongwe.
Since European contact, this land continues to be home to Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. As responsible community members, we value the diversity, dignity, and worth of all people.
Colonialism displaced and dispossessed Indigenous peoples of their ancestral land
and continues to deny their basic human rights, dignities, and freedoms.
We are committed to learning true history to reconcile, make reparations, and fulfill our treaty obligations to the original peoples and our collective responsibilities to the lands, water, animals, and each other for future generations.
The first order of business is the election of the chair and vice chair of the audit committee. So these elections are for a one-year term. We will now receive nomination.
Sorry, Paul and I were in closed session. I think that's supposed to be in closed session.
We are starting in the open, and after the election, we will move into the closed session.
Oh, I've never had it that way before. I've never done it in reverse.
Just because of the election. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Paul is going to join us.
We will now receive nomination for the position of chair. Please raise your hand if you wish to put forward a nomination. Please know that a committee member may nominate themselves. Oh, yes, Trustee Cameron.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Trustee Davies for the position of chair.
So I have received one nomination from Trustee Cameron for Trustee Davies to serve as the chair of the committee. Are there any other nominations? So I have a motion from Trustee Cameron to appoint Trustee Davies as the chair of the audit committee. Do I have a seconder for this motion?
Sure, I can do. Second.
Thank you. Do you, Trustee Davies, accept the nomination?
I do.
Thank you. May I now have a motion that the nomination be closed? Moved by Trustee Lucas, Trustee Alves, and second by Trustee Cameron. So as there is only one nomination for the chair of the audit committee, the Trustee Davies named in this petition. So congratulations, Trustee Davies. I will now receive nominations for the position of vice chair. Please raise your hand if you wish to put forward a nomination. Please note that a committee member may nominate themselves. So Trustee Davies.
I would like to nominate Mr. Senna if you would like to continue.
So I have received one nomination, but the member Sinan. to serve as the vice chair of the committee. Are there any other members who wish to serve as the vice chair of the committee? So I have a motion from Trustee Davies to appoint member Sinha as the vice chair of the audit committee. Do I have a seconder for this motion? Yes. Trustee Hobbs. Do you, member Sinha, accept the nomination?
I do.
May I now have a motion that the nomination be closed, moved by Trustee Davies and second by Trustee Hobbs? As there is only one nomination for the vice chair of the audit committee, so member Sinha is claimed in this position. So congratulations, vice chair Sinha.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to Trustee Davies as the chair, as well as the member Sinha to be the vice chair of the audit committee. All right. I will now ask Chair Davies to take over the meeting. Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm asking for a motion to convene into closed session. Trustee Alves, thank you. All in favor?
All right.
Done. Thank you. We will move into closed session. Okay, so we are now on to item 5, which is the rise and report in closed session, the internal audit services summary, and the PDSB regional internal audit update of March 2024. I have a mover and a seconder on that, please. We're down to Mr. Sinha and Trustee Alves. Perfect.
With pleasure.
All in favor? We got it.
Yeah.
So, item 6 is the approval of the agenda. Again, it's just you gentlemen, so.
With pleasure.
Okay, great. So with that in mind, we'll go with the declarations conflict of interest. I will pause for a moment for any member to declare a conflict of interest. I have not received any, so we will move on to item 8, which is approval of minutes. So 8.1 is the audit committee meeting of November 15th, 2023. Is it a reasonably hand-drawn facsimile thereof? Problems, questions, concerns? None? Oh, nope, we're okay. All in favor accepting as they're written?
Yep.
Okay. Item 9 is delegations. I have not received any beforehand, so we will go right down to number 10, which is reports from officials and staff. 10.1 is the audit committee work plan. And you have the floor.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. So before you, as usual, the audit committee work plan, and it's your guidance on the audit committee's activities and to ensure the committee is covering off the requirements under the Ontario Regulation 36110 as it pertains to audit committees. At today's meetings, we will be addressing the following areas. Section 9, subsection 2, and subsection 3, as well as section 15, section 1. So these sections are related to the duties with respect to the board's internal controls, the internal auditor's responsibilities, and the reporting of internal audit activities to the board. So in today's meeting, through closed session, we covered off REACT status update as well as the transportation follow-up reports. And in addition, we had our own PDSB internal audit speak to us about the summary of school audits as well that have been done since our last audit committee meeting. Additionally, at today's meeting, we are covering on section 11.1, which is related to the requirement for us to have 3 meetings within a fiscal year. So actually today's meeting makes this our 3rd meeting. So we've completed that. And I'm just going to give a quick reference. We have also today done the election of the audit committee chair. So that's well done. So thank you. I'll happy to take any questions.
Thank you for that. Do we have any questions from members? Seeing none. Motion second to accept it. Yep. Gentlemen, are we okay with accepting this report as it's written? Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So item 10.2 is the 2023 annual report of access requests, Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection and Privacy Act.
Oriana Sharp, I'm representing at Moncur.
Thank you.
Through the chair. The Peel District School Board is an institution under the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection and Privacy Act, or MFIPA. The Information and Privacy Commissioner's Office of Ontario mandates that every institution report on an annual basis the amount of freedom of information requests it receives, how they were dealt with, what fees were applied, what exemptions were applied to the records, and how long it took to respond to the request. The following are the highlights of the access requests received from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. The board received 34 requests during 2023, which represents a 112% increase in the number of requests received during 2022. 8 requests required consultations with and notifications to third parties. 5 requests were abandoned by requesters after preliminary work was undertaken by staff. And a total of $819.90 were paid by requesters for access to PDSB records. I'm happy to answer any question.
Thank you. Do we have any from members? Hey, I just had one quick one. The ones where we started work and then they abandoned, did we just charge them that anyway? They were charged or not charged?
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. No, answers that question. So I guess we're with no further questions on the report. Could we have a mover and a seconder? And so Stan, you okay with that? And Al's and Cinna, great. Thank you. All in favor? Good stuff. Okay. So now we're down to item 10.3, which is the terms of reference of the audit committee. This is Director Gill.
Through you, Chair Davies, attached to this report is the terms of reference for the audit committee. Just to highlight some of the terms of in the terms of reference, the committee is a statutory committee of the board. As far as the membership, there are 3 elected trustee members of the committee. In addition to that, as per the Ontario Regulation 361-10, there are 2 external members as well. So in total, there are 5 members of the committee. In regard to the election of the chair and the vice chair, it is normally held at the first meeting of the committee after the inaugural meeting or the organizational meeting of the board. All members, they are eligible to be the chair and the vice chair of the committee. As far as the term of appointment, trustee members are appointed for 1-year term, whereas non-elected members are appointed for 3-year term and can be also serve more than 2 consecutive terms. Not to serve more than 2 consecutive terms unless there is no other suitable candidate for them, as per the Regulation 361-10. As far as the meeting frequency, at least there needs to be 3 meetings in each school term. So we normally schedule 4 meetings in case there's a reason for us to end up canceling one. So normally for us, we schedule 4 meetings, but as far as the terms, there needs to be at least 3 meetings in any given school year. As far as the reporting structure, the committee reports to the Board of Trustees. So in regards to the committee's mandate, it is included in the terms of reference. It's just all based on the regulation 361/10. So I'm happy to respond to any questions you may have.
Thank you. Just for the community members, a very similar presentation was made at governance policy, so this is not something unique to this committee. And with that, are there any questions regarding what was just presented? Oh, Mr. Cameron.
Thank you. And we also had this last night at physical planning, where we had terms of reference for that committee, which is not unusual, as we said. I understood all of this, very similar to last night's, but I did have a question about just a word where we talk about meeting frequency, at least 3 meetings per school term. So the word term in a school system is often used to refer to the first term or second term, the fall term or the winter term. And yet in your language, Associate Director Gill, you actually did say at least 3 meetings per school year. I'm just wondering if that is confusing. Might someone think that would be 6 meetings in a school year?
Through you, Chair Davies, it actually the requirement is to have minimum or at least 3 meetings per school year, not school term. So we will, it means if the committee is okay, we can make that change to the terms of reference.
That would
before it goes to the board for approval.
That would be my recommendation, sir. Thank you.
Fantastic. Any other questions regarding this? Oh, we're okay. All right. So motion to approval. We're good. It's good. And that's all done. Thank you. Okay, so we are at item 11, which is communications. I did not receive any. And number 12 is committee member motions for consideration. I also did not receive any. And notices of motion, there were none. So I'm going to call for adjournment, Mr. Sinha. And
Pleasure.
Mr. Cameron, we're all in agreement. Thank you very much. See you next meeting.